the fact is the governor can't just say, this law is not a good one right now, so let's suspend it. He doesn't have that authority constitutionally. The only thing he can do is call the legislature into special session and pass an emergency clause that would give the governor the opportunity to temporarily suspend the open carry for certain national events or certain, you could define it any way you want to. Then he would have the authority to invoke it for a period of up to X days. But he can't just say, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, so let's not do it.
Well, at a minimum, he should be more visible. I mean, I think what Dagen said earlier is really dead on, and that is the governor should be here at the National Republican Convention. This is his state.
Yeah. And Maria, and Governor, I'm glad you put it into perspective, because that's all the police are asking, to be reasonable. Yeah. And the people, and look, I'm a Second Amendment guy, I believe in the right to bear arms, but it's very disheartening is the people who we support are saying, well, you want to take our rights away. We don't want to take anybody's rights away. We're just asking, be reasonable. Not everything is black and white and light.
I think that the leadership, whether it's the governor or anyone who is here, should call on people, if they're here to protest and they're here peacefully, then don't bring your weapons. You can be a proponent of the Second Amendment, but say, make the police their jobs easier to do and not bring your weapons.
It's really
and not carry them in the open.
Not necessary to bring a weapon.
Right.
There are several thousand police officers here. I've never seen police presence like this.
Yeah.
I said yesterday to somebody, I said, the toughest maximum security prison that we had in Arkansas that I was responsible for, it was easier to get out of it than it would be to get into this parameter here in Cleveland. It is really extraordinarily.
And it's also what you don't see, quite frankly, in terms of the preparation and the protection that's in place.
But, I mean, what's happening now, does this rise in police attacks, the divisions that we're seeing across the country, does that make us even more vulnerable to foreign attacks? We're worried about fighting with each other.
Well, I could tell you that was one thing we worried about when I worked at the Joint Terrorism Task Force. There's a distraction going now in this country. We're fighting each other, and I know it sounds like a broken record. I blame the gentleman who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It happened after Ferguson. The narrative was always the police were the bad guys. Ferguson, Baltimore, all the incidents around the country, before they were fully vetted and investigated, the president came out and made a very, very bad conclusion that it was the police. And the governor of Minnesota, right after the incident out there, to come out and to say it was a racial problem, hurt the police. It damaged police community relations.
Meanwhile, really ill-timed. The president did an op-ed in the Journal today. Merrick Garland deserves a vote for democracy's sake. You would think that the president right now is focused on what's happening with police. He wrote the op-ed about the Supreme Court justice.
We're the good guys. The police are the good guys, and the people in the minority community are good people. They want to work with us. The problem we're facing is leadership. There's not enough men like you, Governor, who stand up and tell the truth and to tell it like it is. And we need more people like you. I really believe that.
Well, I do wish that the governor would come to Cleveland. I think he needs to be here. I think his presence to encourage the officers who are here is important. I mean, it would be typical that a Democratic governor would come to a political convention in his or her own state.
Sure.
But when it's your own party and you were one of the candidates, I just find that it's just inexplicable to me that you would say, no, I'm going to skip it.
It's in bad taste. Yeah.
And to your point about foreign terrorist groups looking, they're watching. They're watching everything we do, and they're waiting for the right time to strike. And I got to tell you, it's been great here. I think we're very safe here, and they did a great job here. So if anybody has any ideas of doing anything here, they have a hard time.
Yeah. With the war on police, though, don't we worry, and we should worry about the safety of the rest of the country, because when you demonize cops, this is what happens to them, and the entire fabric of the nation falls apart.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a breakdown in the rule of law.
Yeah. And to that point, we have to be vigilant all across the country. Everybody's eyes are here. Well, the cops, even not here, have to be real careful.
All right, we will leave it there. Steve Rogers, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.